try to have sex with me. My
I'm
hot
actually
AI body.
seeing someone.
I'm
I'm
seeing
in a
the
committed
AI
relationship. Do not try
I'm
to have
seeing
sex
the
with me.
AI aboard the Commodore. I love that sexy AI characters. So stupid.
Yeah, and all that's sexy is their voice.
Yeah,
It's like,
except the Halo one. There's
Oh,
that
well.
Halo character that's like the horniest engineer in the world. Developed like, I'll make this sexy blue lady.
I am reading a series where one of the characters is in love with the ship's AI. But it's like, that's kind of the crux of it, is that it's such advanced AI that they're kind of like, what's the difference between her and a like thinking human?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's like the same thing.
But it is also extremely illegal to put an AI in a body. So he's
Okay.
like trying to get illegal like an illegal body kit for her.
Yeah, so this is the Mass Effect games have characters that are this.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like the ship's the ship's pilot falls in love with the ship's AI. Or like has like a friendship with it or something.
Yeah.
But then like eventually the AI gets a body.
That's illegal.
And it's like super controversial, and of course it's like a babe robot.
Of course.
It's so fucking funny. Like
That's what I'm
it's just like this like curvy ass like, robot babe.
perfect little 24-year-old pert.
Yeah.
Pert bod.
Yeah, looking real nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping in this one it's like a horrible Frankenstein's monster of just like all, because it's so illegal, he has to go to like the black market. I want
All
it to
these
just
like
be
rusty
like,
bolts sticking
yeah,
out
just
of it.
all
and-
kinds of mismatched, like one really strong arm and one really weak arm, one leg
The
shorter
legs
than
are-
the other.
The legs are like treads, like tractor treads. He puts like that'd be cool. I'd put like a jetpack on it and you can like ride around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, you
One
wanted
of
to
the arms
ask
is a
me about
crane.
hip.
Yeah, you were talking. The other arm's a drill. It's actually he's made a battle bot. Okay, babe, this is what we've been training for. The big fight. I love you. Throw in the towel. Getting the shit kicked out of her.
Get out of there! You can't win. This is for you.
Throw in the digital towel.
I love you.
Yeah. You were the first person I loved. Explodes.
Explodes. Winner.
Winner, and we'll be right back after these messages.
And he's just
Crying in the corner, holding the wreckage.
cradling the bolts and
The springs and the bolts. Just
kissing the like hammerhead.
I remember the first time you accidentally picked me up with the crane.
Felt like a child again.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you. You dropped a bomb on me. You said you loved to go to hibachi as a teen.
Yeah, I went to
And that just-
hibachi.
That sentence alone just kind of got me.
I went to hibachi a lot as a teen.
As a teen, like it's such a teen thing. Me, 14, can't keep me away from that top grill.
Keep me away from that guy throwing an egg in his pocket.
Oh, if I open my mouth loud, like wide enough, he's gonna toss a shrimp in there.
Oh,
And I didn't even order shrimp.
Oh, I would.
That's my favorite too. When they like, I guess he doesn't toss it into your mouth. He tosses it on your plate.
Yeah.
But I bet you could. I bet they're that good.
Yeah. In Friends, Ross gets a hibachi mushroom tossed into his mouth, and he's like, "Oh my god, it's hot!" and spits it out onto the grill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
What
that's
a
it.
Ross move.
That's so
Is that
Ross.
okay? So you liked hibachi as a teen. What's going on here?
Well, First of
What's the
all,
deal?
I
Tell me
mean,
about that.
I feel like hibachi was like where you'd go for like celebrations. Like in my circle of family and friends, it was like, oh, it's my birthday. We're going to hibachi. You know?
Definitely an event. It was yeah, it was always an occasion.
Yeah.
Like I never had
Except,
a habit of going because of course it was an occasion.
except me and my mom had a nice long streak where we would go to the mall like almost every weekend
Okay.
and shop. And when we
Cool.
were
Cool.
done, we would go to dinner at hibachi.
All right. So this is not you as a teen going. This is you and your mom like middle school, high school.
Well, yeah, but it was like it wasn't like me and my mom are pals, you know, so it
Yeah.
felt
for
very
sure.
like like it felt like going with my friend. It felt the
You
same as when I
were
would go
friends
with
with
my
your mom?
I know. I'm so
Wild.
lucky.
Okay, because I was like, when you say I went to Pachi a lot as a teen,
I
it's
did.
like, okay, are we going with
Almost
family?
every
Your
weekend.
family loves it, or are you like, this is what you and your friends do to like have
No.
fun?
Me and
'Cause
my
see, for
friends
me,
would
I
go
would
to
say-
Waffle House for fun.
See, I didn't do Waffle House as a teen. I was hitting up like Chili's, and you did too.
Oh my god, I forgot about the
How
Chili's
could
era.
you forget? I feel like you were there with me.
Yes. Dude, Chili's was like my home for like
That
2
was
years.
the move. Yeah.
Holy shit, I forgot about Chili's. Just sit in a Chili's and down just skillet after skillet of queso
So
and
many
just
skillets
chain smoke.
Oh yeah, when you could smoke at the bar,
Yeah.
like the bar section.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh my god. I completely
all that
forgot
skillet
about
queso.
that. Holy
The
shit.
chips and salsa were bottomless too, right?
At that time, the chips and salsa were free.
They were free and endless.
Yes.
But like they'd always like you'd get, you'd order like the queso so that it wasn't like
Well, yeah, we didn't want to camp.
yeah. Oh, I mean, I definitely did a couple times for sure. Just like all right, let's keep these chips coming in.
Our thing
I'm
was
buying
we
it.
went
Buying a
there.
Coke.
Yeah, we went there enough. And honestly, the people that worked there were like our age, basically.
They don't give a shit. Yeah.
They didn't give a shit, and I don't think they really wanted to work, so they kind of liked that we were taking up one of their tables, you know?
Yeah.
And we went there so often that they'd often give us stuff for free. Like, they wouldn't charge us for our sodas, or like give us a free queso, or like give us like one of the, if the kitchen like made the wrong thing for a table, they'd bring that to
They
us.
put the wrong sauce on the Big Mouth burger. They drenched it in the wrong sugar sauce.
And so we'd get those Big Mouth burgers.
Those are now ours.
Yeah. Because we always
Yeah.
tipped really nice too. Because our bill was,
course.
fucking $7 or something. So we'd give them like a 20 and call it good.
Because we got one skillet queso and then like 4 servings of
For
chips.
4 Dr. Peppers.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like we're like 16 to like 18.
Yeah. Like basically until one of our friends got an apartment.
Yeah, and a fake ID.
Or one of our friends turned 21 because we were also
That
friends
too.
with older people.
Yeah, because that also was the case. Yeah, that those any night where it's like, yeah, nothing's going on, we have nowhere to go, let's just go to Chili's. They're
Yeah,
open.
let's go to Chili's.
And then that became let's go to Waffle House.
Waffle House was, as I've told before, the post bowling place that we would go.
Oh yes, yeah.
And then Waffle House, then was the post party.
Post party, I loved Waffle House. I'd go there just like
Oh my god, I love Waffle
I
House.
would just go to go. Like
I'd go
just,
dead
like,
sober.
I'm like, oh yeah, all the time.
Dead sober, 9 a.m. Waffle House, baby.
Okay, I did that a couple times. I did that on Christmas Day one year.
Hell
A
yeah.
couple friends and I, we heard that they were open because
They're
we had
always
probably
open.
been there like the week earlier, and they never close. And we were like, that's like after like Christmas Day around like noon, once we're all kind of done with our family junk, let's all like meet up at Waffle House and like just like hang. And
Did
we
you know
did, and it was
there's
great.
a Waffle House secret code of like how they put the like receipt and the butters and jellies and stuff on the plate tells the cook what the person ordered?
I didn't know that. I
Isn't
like that though.
interesting? So
That
it's
is
like,
cool.
if the receipt's like horizontal and the butter's in the like top left of the plate, then it's, a waffle and bacon or something.
Although that seems more convoluted than just having a ticket.
It does.
It seems like learn this new language of symbols.
I like it though.
It's like,
I love Waffle House lore.
I bet it's that way for like certain dishes.
Yeah, I think
Probably
it's like
like
specifically
just
for
like
like the waffle
breakfast
based
stuff.
dishes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because there's
Yeah,
no
like
way
the
they're
breakfast
using this.
dishes
There's no way they're using this code for like
where it's like
how
it's interchangeable things. It's like bacon or sausage, biscuit or toast.
yeah.
Omelet or grits.
It's
you
probably
know?
like for the breakfast plates. The breakfast
Yeah.
plates get a code because it's like a shorthand. But if someone
Yeah.
goes wild and orders one of their burgers,
Dude, can I say
no.
Waffle House chicken soup?
Damn, never had that.
Insane. So good.
Never even considered it.
They grill the chicken breast on the flat top and then chop it up and put it in their like endless broth.
Their infinite soup.
Yeah.
That's just the,
Also, the grilled cheeses are really good, but I feel like, of course, they are because it's just butter, bread, and cheese.
how could it? Yeah, it's the grilled cheese. If you're fucking up a grilled cheese, you got bigger problems to deal with.
Yeah, I went there with a friend once for like lunch, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of cold outside. I'm feeling a little sniffly. I'm gonna get a chicken soup and some grilled cheese.
Nice. That's a
And
good order.
I got it, and I was like, this is so like I
This
can't
is the
believe
best
I've
thing I've
never
ever
ordered
had.
this.
Instead of just like getting the hash browns and then doing way too much.
Oh, dude, I never
just
do way too
wrecking
much to
them.
the hash browns. Mm-mm. I only want onions and cheese.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you make the mistake. You're like, I'm feeling a little saucy.
Oh
today.
yeah, if I'm feeling like swirly, and then you just do
Feeling
everything to the hash browns, and you're like,
zingy, yeah.
what have I done?
And you're like, this is this is bad. This is what if I?
Turns out all of these things don't go together.
Yeah, it looks at you. I love you. My Frankenstein monster of a potato dish. Oh yeah, turns out slices of American cheese don't go well with tomato and mushrooms
Yeah, ugh,
and like
gross.
chunked ham.
Yeah, I don't think
Like
Oh,
who's
didn't they-
getting it chunked?
they had it called all the way, right?
Yeah, you could order it, and that
Scattered
had
all the way?
gravy
Whoa.
scattered all the way, and that even had like the cream gravy like ladle over the top,
No,
which I think was an addition. I
No.
think at some point they added gravy as a hash brown option. Like it wasn't always there, but then once it did get added, then it got added to the all the way. The only way to eat the all the way though is to just cover it in hot sauce.
yeah, I never did the all the way. I'm not gonna lie.
I maybe tried it once. It was not good. Yeah, it's not worth it. But you put enough hot sauce in anything, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's called country,
Yes, getting it countryed.
which is because all the other ones make sense. Smothered, covered, chunked, diced,
Chunked is
peppered,
weird.
capped, topped, and then country.
What is topped?
Topped is chili.
Oh, okay. See, that one doesn't really. Can it get scattered and topped off?
Scattered. See, I'm a scattered, smothered, and covered kind of lady.
Yeah, that's the classic. Okay, yeah, that's the line.
Obviously.
That's the one.
You know why I do that is because one of my first jobs was at Cracker Barrel, and they have a side dish called hash brown casserole.
Oh,
and
it's so good.
Onions and cheese mixed into hash browns and then
Yeah,
baked.
it's
and
awesome.
It's so fucking good, dude. It's
Yeah,
so good.
I love Crackle Barrel.
Me too.
It's
Dude,
the
those
best.
pancakes, still probably the best
Oh,
pancakes
yeah.
I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I really like their fried catfish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's
Fridays.
solid.
Friday's
Yeah.
catfish special.
Oh,
I remember that.
You could get it any day now.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, you can
I
get it
think
every day.
I think if they still do the specials, then Friday is like it's cheaper.
Probably, yeah.
But I do remember when I worked there, they had specials that were only that day, like the meatloaf, and I fucking love meatloaf.
I've heard about the meatloaf. I've never had it.
It's not my favorite because it's the kind where like the gravy has like it's like a actual gravy with like tomatoes and onions and peppers.
It's like a brown gravy.
But it's more like a
chunk.
salsa.
It's like ooh.
But it's
yeah,
like
this is losing me.
it's more like a mama's gravy, Sunday gravy.
I don't know.
Is what I
don't know
mean
about
when
that.
I say gravy.
Okay, I don't. This is losing
But
me.
it's,
I don't
what
even
I
know.
mean is it's like a salsa in that it's like chunky.
Yeah, no, I know it's not a salsa. You're not saying it's a salsa, but I get the consistency wise.
Consistency wise is looser than a salsa.
Yes, more like a gravy,
More
but
like
with
a gravy. But
hunks
with
of
actual
stuff.
hunks of crap.
I've
Which
never had
personally,
that.
I'm a ketchup lady for my meatloaf. Or barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go for like a brown gravy. Hell, I'd do a country gravy. I get my meatloaf countryed.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Dude. There's a restaurant here that came out with some features for the month. One of them's meatloaf. They cover it in white cheddar. So, like, when I saw the picture, I thought the meatloaf was like a hunk of blue cheese because it was so covered in cheese, but it had like these dark spots coming through.
Yeah.
Turns out it's cheese-covered meatloaf with like,
Sounds good.
I think it's brown gravy and then like
Of
Texas
course.
toast like smacked on top. Like
This is
it looks
just
insane.
This is just every buffalo dish.
I know, just
Deep fried pizza covered in cheese
and
with
gravy.
like a chicken, like chicken fried.
Yeah,
Just
I love it here.
gravy logs. We're making gravy logs now. Or
Ooh, I'd eat that.
yeah, who knows what.
Dude, put meatloaf in the pizza log and let me dip it in brown gravy.
Yeah,
Bitch.
loafed up the log.
Bitch. Oh, I would eat that. Oh, I'd so eat that.
Of course.
Oh, I wanted to say something about last week.
What do you got for us?
I forgot it.
Oh, you forgot it?
Oh, I guess I wanted to say sorry for peeing.
Oh, okay. Well, you left it in the episode. I've just now learned that you left it in the episode. And now you've
I
apologized
didn't like
for
pee
it.
on Mike. It's not that big of a deal.
You didn't pee on Mike. We could have just cut it out, and we didn't ever have to
Could've.
talk about it ever again.
Yeah, it was I didn't want to cut anything out. I went back and listened to because I was like, we'll cut out the Lord of the Rings talk, and then I listened to it and I was like, that was like a minute.
Yeah, why would? Yeah, I
Like, it
was
doesn't
surprised
matter.
when you suggested cutting that. Like, who cares?
Yeah, so it's just a bit.
Hey, we
longer
got a clock.
episode.
We got a clock to fill.
Yeah.
We got an hour to fill. We're not cutting anything.
And also no cruise update this episode, but
Well, yeah.
oh wait, one really quick cruise update.
You don't want to save it? Even
No, because it's the aftermath will be for next time.
okay.
It's like
cool.
happening this week.
Cruise
They
update.
changed the itinerary. They're not going to the Falklands anymore. They're going straight to Antarctica because the
Whoa.
Drake Passage is going to be way too choppy at the time they originally planned.
Right,
like,
right.
20-foot
gonna be-
swells.
It's not going to be Lake. It's not going to be Drake Lake. It's going to be Drake Quake.
Shake.
Shake. Quake is better.
It's still going to be Drake Shake, just not as bad.
What do you think a Drake Shake tastes like?
Immediately, my head said there was Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I have no answer. I have no answer for this question. I simply pose it. Simply
I'm
bring it to
simply
the table.
Question asker, not the answer.
2 Drake shakes, please. Surprise me.
So it was originally going to be 55 hours with like 8 to 10 meter swells, which is
That sounds rough. That sounds bad.
yeah. They said it was going to like go over the top decks of the not the top decks, but like the open air decks of the ship.
Yeah. And just flood everything again?
Yeah. So they changed it so that it's going to be 22 hours with like 5 to 6 meter swells, which shouldn't go over any open decks. But
that's crazy.
There's a guy that's like a TikToker, like that's kind of his thing, is that he TikToks. And he's gay and sassy, and I love him. And he was posting videos like, bitch, I would go on this fucking cruise in a heartbeat. Get me at him. Let me at him. Let's tell the real tea, the real story. And some sponsor was like, okay, you're flying to Brazil. Get on the boat. But
all right.
So he's my main source of information now. But his room has a window, but he's like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 20 feet above like sea level.
Okay.
Like he's like right, like his window is like just ocean. Like
he's like looking, he's down, he's below.
So
deck.
when they go through the Drake Passage, he's gonna be like underwater a lot.
That's so wild.
And I can't wait to see it. Oh my god.
That'd be really, yeah, that'd be cool to experience. It'd be a very Titanic. Very Titanic room.
I'd be terrified to be in a small boat, but I'd also be terrified to be in a boat as big as a cruise ship in that.
Yeah, I think I would just get so, like, claustrophobic in the weird sense.
Like in the, like, space madness way?
Yeah, exactly. In sort of a cosmic horror type way.
Yeah.
Like it'd be a mind flayer type way of
yeah.
like, I'm losing it. I'm going stir crazy.
Constant
and I, like,
psychic damage.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't understand. I can't get out of here. I need to get out of here, but I can't because I'm on a boat.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, like I said last week, in Antarctica, they don't get out. So they're a whole day being tossed around. Like 2 days.
They just see the ice.
Yeah, they go near like famous glaciers and ice walls and shit.
Yeah. I love glaciers. I love to look at them.
I bet it's really cool to see.
And
you get to see like,
probably
penguins and shit.
I don't know if I want to go through the rest of it, of the ordeal.
So 2 days down there, and then like another 2 days at sea until they get back to South America. So you're just 5 days of just being on the boat. And presumably some of those days you can't even go outside because like it's too like crazy.
Like it's too dangerous to like being like inside, but also like you're inside, but you're left to the whims of the outside world as to how your vessel fares.
Yeah, you're like not really in shelter.
Like this is where the madness comes in.
Yes, dude.
I'm like I'm inside. I'm in my room. I'm also like constantly just unsettled.
That's the thing. Is it's claustrophobia in the sense of like, yeah, like not being in a small enclosed space, but not being able to escape anything. Like, if something goes wrong,
you're here.
Sorry. Like,
and for 9 months.
Ugh.
Like, that just sounds sounds horrible.
Doesn't it? I think it sounds awful.
9 months. 9 months on a boat with a bunch of assholes. Like, with a bunch of people who thought it was a good idea, like, or who maybe even enjoy it. You can't vacation. You can't vacation for 9 months.
That's why some people are working.
Right, but even then, it's like, would you go to a hotel and work for 9 months? Absolutely not.
No. No, I would not.
I mean, I guess you could fly. Like, I guess like a more like better analogy would be like, yeah, would you just live in hotels for 9 months, but even like moving around because the boat kind of moves around, but even that's not the same because the boat, you're on the boat most of the time.
If I was in like a flying hotel that dropped me off at different cities that I definitely wanted to see.
Yeah, but now we're just talking about dream vacations. This
But
is
I'm also
like the same thing.
I don't want the hotel to have anything but a restaurant and a bar. And like all the other hotel crap. Like this place has, you know, a mall and like 14
sucks.
restaurants and like a bunch of different theaters and a pool and a water slide.
This thing
fucking...
this needs to go down and turn into like a BioShock type like they just get lost and now they have to like develop they all go insane and
yeah,
it turns into tribal like
right
feuds and there's like borders are set up and walls are built.
Yeah, the people that took over the Windjammer are cruel but just.
Yeah.
Yeah, nightmare, not a fairy tale. Oh, wow.
Nah, whoa.
Whoa. Am I getting better at
that.
segues? No. That was horrible.
Somehow worse. You've gotten worse.
I've gone from not doing them to saying them, but that's worse than not doing them.
Hey, and speaking of cruise ships, let's sail into our topic. Why don't we cruise on over to what we had planned to talk about today? Sounds like a fairly bad trip. I wish a ferry could take me away
And
from this ship.
every week I will have more tales from the sea.
Tales from the Sea coming at you in a recurring segment for the next 8 months?
Yeah.
8 months. So get a lot to look forward to. 8 months of updates. Mm-hmm. What will happen next? Well,
although unless something goes horribly wrong and it gets cut short, which
yeah,
then I'll
at
have
this
updates
point,
about all the lawsuits.
that'd be fun, and all the loss of life.
Oh,
Oop. Which loss of life happens in a lot of fairy tales. Turns out.
Oh yes,
which we
it
know.
does.
It's
So
fairy tales are weird.
that's what we're kind of going for. Is all the fairy tales we know and love are the original stories are much less cute than Disney would have you believe.
Yeah, we all know this. We all know this. Everyone knows this.
Wow, you're making the person who's listening to this that did not know that feel
Everyone
really
knows
stupid
this.
right now, and that's
You
very
know what?
rude.
We all know that they're bad. Fairy tales are they're called the Brothers Grimm.
That's not their fault.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to be so grim about their tales either.
So do you?
But yeah, no. So yeah, tell me, what did you learn? What have you
Oh.
discovered?
Well, so what I did is I picked a couple of my old fairy tales. I was a Disney kid in a Disney
Your old
family.
faves.
So I did
And Disney kid, Disney family, hibachi on Saturday.
hibachi after the mall. I lived a very privileged life.
A Disney family that hangs out at the mall, huh? Okay. Never heard of that.
We didn't do it at the same time.
And you don't want to be on this cruise?
It's not a Disney cruise. No, I don't.
I know, but it's a ball on the water. It is a cruise.
Yeah, it's
Have you been to Disneyland? We're never going to get to the subject.
not Disneyland, Disney World.
Oh, you went to the big one.
Yeah. Well, my aunt lived in Orlando, and she worked for Disney. So we went.
We have to have talked about this.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
She actually, circle it back to the cruises, I'm pretty sure she wrote, like, the shows for the Disney cruises.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, she was on the writing team for the
Yeah.
little, like, plays and stuff they would do. So, yeah, I went to Disney a lot as a child, and I had a lot of Disney crap.
Wow, you went a lot, huh?
I sure did. But
So what was your what? Oh, so let's start it off with which fairy tale? Because they're all Disney stories too, right? Most of them turn into Disney movies.
yeah, so the three I wanted to that I like highlighted the like yikes parts are Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, and Snow White.
The yikes, the TWs.
Yeah.
In these fairy tales.
Yeah, by the way, trigger warning for body horror in most of these.
They're wild. Yeah, the amount of self-harm to the sake of some like the smallest of gain.
Yeah, for real. Or just like someone's bad and they get mutilated.
And they get absolutely decimated by birds.
They don't have pureness of heart and they just get fucked up.
I saw that happens in the Rapunzel one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where like it's like a witch and the witch is like mad at her for letting the night up. Okay, Rapunzel, let's just dive in. Rapunzel lets down her hair.
Crazy. Uh-huh.
Lets the knight or whoever the hunk climbs her hair. They fuck.
Oh yeah.
And she gets pregnant.
Yep.
And then the
twins.
witch is mad. The witch is mad. It's like, what the hell are you doing up here? You're not supposed to be doing this.
Yep.
Takes her away and like leaves her in a life of like poverty.
Yep.
Then goes back to the tower, tricks the hunk using her witchy ways.
No, the witch cuts off Rapunzel's hair, pretends she is Rapunzel.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I forgot the hair cutting part.
When the prince gets to the top, she fucking lets go.
She lets go, yeah.
He falls to the bottom and becomes blind.
He falls into thorns, and the thorns gouge out his eyes. That's how it happened. It's like that's like an extra detail. It was thorns that did it, that he fell into.
Ugh.
Because the witch was like jealous? I don't know. Or just mad. Like no one really ever has motives in these stories, is what I found. They just kind of like are just doing nuts. They're just being nuts, like wild. Kinda wild. Go. You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, the end of Rapunzel. So he gets his eyes gouged out by thorns, and then he's just like wandering the countryside for like years, and finally finds Rapunzel, and she's been raising their two kids.
Damn, and
twins, boy and a girl. And he finds her, I guess, because she was singing, and she has like, and he's like, I'd know that singing voice anywhere. So he like stumbles towards her. They reunite.
That voice couldn't just be coming from any tower.
Well, she's not. She's like living in the woods.
I know. She's like a pauper.
Pauperess.
Pauperess. Pauperette. Papretti.
And then they like embrace, and she cries, and two of her tears drip into his eyes and heal him, and he can see, and then they live happily ever after.
What the hell?
She has magical tears.
As soon as you said she starts to cry, I was like, God damn it, the tears are going to go in his eyes. Like,
they just burn.
Yeah. Oh, just like
quit
salt
crying
in my
eyes.
Why are you crying into my eyes? He like flinches, reacts, pushes her out of a tower into thorns.
What?
Which she's not in. I know she's not in a tower.
They both fall into thorns. They're both blind.
They're both blind.
She can't cry anymore. Her tear ducts got, I guess, sewn up or
got thorned.
Plugged by thorns.
My
God, ow. No.
What did you do?
I just thought of thorns plugging my tear ducts.
Oh, I thought you like somehow managed to poke your eyes.
No. I have to protect them from the imaginary thorns.
Your tear ducts have like pain receptors? Like I don't even know where my ducts are.
You don't?
No.
They're right here.
Oh, okay.
If you go look in the mirror after this, you can see like a little hole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's
That's
like
cool.
a little hole where the tears like well up in there.
That's where the tears come from?
Yeah, that's the fountain of tears.
Fountain of tears. Fountain of healing eyes.
Just eyes.
Healing
though.
eyes. Heel eyes. Thorny
Healing
eyes.
Heel eyes.
Healing eyes, heel eyes, thorny eyes. Okay, so what's next? What's one of yours?
Let's do we'll do Cinderella. So
Let's do it. Sounds great. Let's keep this ball rolling.
first of all, she does not have a fairy godmother. She has a magical tree growing out of her dead mother's grave.
Wild, okay.
And a dove from heaven brings her stuff at that tree.
Brings her stuff for her.
Yeah,
Like-
she'll like be at the tree and the dove will be there and she'll be like, I really wish I had
Oh, she asks for stuff?
this thing, and the dove's like heard and flies off, goes and gets it, and comes back and gives it to her.
Milady.
Understood.
Wait, so the dove is Santa.
I think they're trying to pass it off as like more of like an angel.
The dove is like the dead
Situation?
mom.
Yeah, maybe.
Ghost
or
bird?
like the spirit of the mom, the essence of the mother, the giving
And
spirit
the dove
of the
just
mother.
flies up to... I guess it's a magical dove.
It is a magical dove, for sure.
It can just fly up to heaven.
Oh, here's the thing. Okay, so the dad goes to like a fair and asks the three girls what they all want. And the two stepsisters are like, beautiful dresses, diamonds, pearls, you know, shit that
I need a
bad
bag.
people ask for.
A nice hat.
And Cinderella says she wants the first twig to knock his hat off on the journey.
I would, yeah, I'd be a bitch to her too.
It sounds like the dad just like grabbed a twig, like his hat didn't get knocked off by any twig. He just like grabbed one from the
He's like,
forest
oh,
floor.
this'll shut her up.
Yeah, she
Oh, a
plants it.
twig.
She plants it on her mom's grave and waters it with her tears.
Of course. Teary eyes, heel eyes, dead moms.
Yeah. So,
Is that what grows the tree?
yeah,
Wait, so this tree grows fast.
it grows into a glowing hazel tree
Just
It's glowing
overnight.
in the
Glowing,
graveyard,
okay.
coming out of her mother's body.
No one else notices this.
Yeah, no one goes to the graveyard, I guess.
No one ever goes to
Except
the
for
graveyard, especially
Cinderella.
at night. They definitely don't go at night and see the glowing hazel tree
Yeah, with the magical bird in it.
with the bird. The
That's just
dove.
laden with shopping bags and
Yeah.
Amazon packages and
Yeah, wait, so the only reason Cinderella's not asking her dad for like dress, shoes, is that she's asking her mom for all these things.
well, she didn't have the tree when she asked for the twig. The
Oh,
twig made the
right,
tree.
right. No, she was pure of heart, of
Yeah.
course.
She's so good.
She's just so good. All she wanted was a twig.
That's all she wanted.
I just want this. I want a branch. Give me the first branch that whacks you in the eye while you're on your way to the fair.
Don't worry, I have magical tears. Just like every
Yeah.
girl in a fairy tale, apparently.
Every fairy tale, the first thing that thwaps you off your horse. Bring
the
me
first
that.
thing that absolutely lays you out, I want that.
Yeah. Yeah, the first arrow, of the first ambush that pierces your shoulder as you flee to the inn for refuge. Bring me that arrow.
So they're like, for a while, excuse me. Oh my goodness. For a while, the story's the same. Like, the king's like, yo, we're throwing a party. Bring all your hot babe daughters, and the prince will choose the one that he wants to marry. So everyone's real excited about that.
Really
Stepmom and
excited.
stepsisters say, no, 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 you cannot come. And so she goes to the tree to cry and says she wishes that she had like a beautiful gown and silken slippers. And so the bird's like, oh, you know what? I have that. Here you go.
Yeah, I just happen to have these like on my bird person body. Like
Yeah.
they're here.
Oh, and I read that in the original, it's likely that the shoes were actually not glass and they were squirrel.
Sand. Squirrel?
Yeah, squirrel fur.
Squirrel. My beautiful ballroom shoes.
Just
They got
like matted.
Got the arms and like the base of the toes and like the tails sticking out the back, like just walking around with 2 rats on your feet.
So
Find squirrel slippers.
Yep. Find squirrel slipper. Just real pokey, real sharp fur, not so soft. It doesn't look soft.
I think it's soft.
It looks like it feels like Huckleberry's fur. Huckleberry is my dog, and he has thorns for fur. He's got splinters.
Fur. I think squirrels soft. They look soft.
They do look soft. I don't know. I've never gotten to touch a squirrel. I always think I want to, and then when I get too close, I get scared because that's stupid to touch a squirrel.
Well, yeah. Also, I don't think they'd let you. I don't think you'd try to get up to them and they just run away.
I always think they're gonna like face hug me.
They're gonna. Oh yeah. I don't think they would.
You don't think so?
You always think they're gonna like become your friend.
You don't think squirrels have hate in their heart?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Unless they have the rabies in their heart as well.
Oh.
then they probably will.
Yeah, so the ball. It's a 3-day ball. Princess escorts her home. The dad is already home. She wasn't supposed to be at the ball, so she goes and hides in the pigeon coop. The prince goes to the dad and is like, hey, I think your daughter, who I'm just besotted with, is hiding in the pigeon coop. So her dad goes and chops it down. Believing she's in it.
What the hell?
Yeah. Like just
I
chops
thought the dad
it up.
I thought the dad liked her.
The dad does not like her.
Oh, well, I mean, what? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that how the story always is?
No. Second night, same thing happens. She asks for a different dress and shoes. The dove is like, hell yeah, here you go. Goes and dances with the prince all night. Prince escorts her home. She runs into a pear tree. The prince goes and gets the dad again. He chops down the pear tree.
Why is this prince ratting out Cinderella?
He's being a bitch.
After seeing what happened to the pigeon coop.
He's a prince. He doesn't know anything about consequences.
Also, is that the dad chopped down his own pigeon coop? Mm-hmm. Just because his daughter was in it? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is really weird. This is really... Okay, all right. Okay, third night.
Slippers of glass, apparently. The prince is determined now to not lose her, to not have her go hide in some bird cage. Mm-hmm. So he covers the stairs in front of the castle in pitch, which, as you know, is like tar.
It's like tar, yeah.
So it's like really sticky.
Pitch is in a lot of these stories.
Yes. Pitch is a classic 1800,
yeah,
1802 material.
Yeah, we love our straw and our timber and our pitch.
Yes, we do. So that's how she loses the shoe, because it gets literally stuck to the stairs. But she gets away again, third time.
And this is his plan.
This is his plan to
get her shoe stuck?
No, he wanted to like have her get stuck so that she couldn't get away from him.
What? Okay.
Like I don't think he planned for the contingency that she might take the shoe off and run away with just one shoe.
Right.
Like,
I just don't understand, like why is she always running away from him, or why is he doesn't, like, what is going on here?
I think it's because she's not supposed to be there, so she's worried that if she like sticks around, like, because her whole family is at the ball too.
Right.
So she needs to get home before they get home.
Gotcha.
So he's like, great, I have the shoe. This is the classic Cinderella. I'm going to go figure out who fits in this shoe.
Whoever fits in the shoe must be her. There's no other way to tell.
Since she got taken home by him the first 2 nights, he knows where she lives. Mm-hmm. The stepsisters.
Yeah, I know this part.
One of them fucking cuts off her toes to fit in a shoe. okay, here's the thing. He believes it. He like puts, or like she puts the shoe on. I get she has to put it on herself, or otherwise this doesn't work. She puts the shoe on herself. He's like,
otherwise the prince notices.
Otherwise the prince is a moron.
What the hell? Where'd all your toes go?
He believes it, takes her away in the carriage. These magical angel doves from heaven come to the carriage and sing the prince a song about how the shoe's filling with blood.
Yeah, this lady of yours is bleeding to death in the carriage.
And he's like, oh, gross, and takes her back. The other stepsister cut her heel off to fit.
God.
He believes it again. And the birds have to tell him again.
It's so
This prince
strange.
is dumb.
Prince is dumb. Also, like, I can't stand the idea of cutting off your foot's parts.
Well, okay, the stepmom tells them, when you're queen, you won't need to walk around anymore. You don't walk as a queen. You get carried everywhere, so you don't need your feet.
There's some line somewhere that's like explains it away. Like, oh yeah, you won't need to walk anymore. You'll never need to walk.
Yeah, you don't need to walk if you're queen, so get rid of those bad boys.
Chop them off.
So he comes back. He's like, surely there's another woman, like another girl living here. And the dad goes, yeah, but she's like a dirty little bitch. And like, you don't want to see her. She's nasty. She's filthy.
She's a little scamp.
She's gross. And the prince is like, no, I think I want to see her. And so, she cleans up, whatever. The prince is like, this is her. They go get married. The stepsisters show up to the wedding to try to get on her good side. And they fucking like arm in arm with her down the aisle. And she's like, okay, you kind of treated me like shit for the past 16 years.
Yeah, you've kind of always been huge bitches to me all the time.
The magical angel doves from heaven come and peck out the sister's eyes and leave them like screaming in pain. And Cinderella like gets in the carriage like, goodbye.
Bye.
I'm going to go live happily ever after, rich.
Now you don't have eyes or feet or heels or toes or whatever the hell.
Seriously, what the hell?
What a great moral. What a story filled with...
I think the moral is, don't be a bitch and you won't lose your eyeballs to birds. Magical angel birds from heaven.
Don't be a horny hunk that climbs the hair to the tower, because then you'll lose your eyes to the thorns.
Thorns are like birds, but of the earth.
But also be horny enough to then walk around the earth listening for the song.
That's how you know it's true love.
And then the tears will heal your eyes.
Yeah. So far, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I think it sounds good. I read one that was new to me. I read a new fairy tale.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited. I didn't look anything up about this when you told me about it, because
Good. So, what is it called? The three snake leaves. And I like this tale. I like this tale a lot. So,
tell me a tale. Spin me a yarn.
Let me tell you a tale. And I'm just going to tell this tale in my way.
Oh, good.
The father and the son. Oh, the dynamic duo. But they're so poor.
Aw.
They're poor. They're just living off the earth, and the earth's not providing. Son says, I must leave because the land does not provide for the two of us. Father, I must depart and make my way in the world alone. So he goes off. And I guess there's like a war going on or something. The kingdom's at war.
As always.
So he joins the army. Joins the I don't know.
The army has been preying on poverty since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of the Grimm's fairy tales. since the very writing of the three snake leaves.
Since that
classic Disney adaptation.
4 faded words. Once upon a time, the army has been taking advantage of poverty-stricken individuals. has been forcing sons to leave their fathers' homes and going off to the battlefield to fight a war they don't even care about. Okay, yeah.
So he's on the field of battle, glory.
Yes.
And every single one of his like comrades are being cut down by arrows or bullets. I'm not sure what time
I'm gonna
this
say
takes place.
arrows and swords.
It wasn't quite clear when I was reading it. I was like, they're being slain by just the volleys of
Yeah.
like, you know,
Everyone's just throwing rocks.
really fast things in the air that you don't like to get hit with. And he's seeing all his you know, all his boys are down. They're all down bad.
Shame.
In the earth. They're soaking the earth with blood. It's going to provide now.
Only the dead have seen the end of war.
He considers giving up. He considers that this is the end. We must surrender.
Deserting.
But he says no, not today. And he finds his courage. I'm adding this part in. He finds his courage that day, and he like leads the last soldiers that are left in like a counterattack, and they win the battle.
Okay.
Like they don't give in to fear of bullets or arrows or spears or knives or horses or cannons, maybe like a catapult.
Trebuchet,
maybe a ballista, big bow. Maybe there's like an ogre. I don't know what they're fighting.
There's an
Oliphant. A lot of these fairy tales have like the objects are alive. So maybe like the swords, they're fighting swords, like living swords.
Maybe.
And the swords can like talk and dance and also trick
Yeah.
people into other fairy tales of their own.
For sure.
Other morals.
Definitely.
So he leads the soldiers to victory, and he is then taken to like meet the king, who thanks him, of course, for his valor and his courage.
It's his dad?
It's not his dad. No, his dad is still dirt poor back home.
Great.
Doesn't know anything about his son's life.
Cool.
That dad comes in later. Wait for it.
Okay, sorry.
That's like chapter 27, I think. We're on chapter 2. Chapter 2.
No.
Meets the king. And the king has this beautiful daughter, of course.
Of course.
Not Cinderella. Hey,
What
fellas,
king
don't get your
doesn't
hopes
have
up.
a beautiful daughter?
A beautiful daughter. But the daughter is kind of a psychopath.
Oh.
She has this rule. And this rule has scared away all the other suitors she's ever had. The rule is, I will only marry someone who truly loves me. And the only way to know this is they must agree before the king and the country, if they marry me, when one of us dies first, the other one is buried with them.
Alive?
Alive. Whichever one goes first, the other one goes too.
No. You can't even
She
kill
has this
yourself
rule.
before?
Can you kill yourself before you go on the ground?
That's...
So...
I
Yeah.
understand why no one marries her.
No one else ever marries
That's
her. Yeah, because she's
horrifying.
fucking nuts. Talk about a red flag. Like,
Yeah.
this is the sign. This is the sign.
Because
Don't.
also, I can see her, someone with this rule, this big red flag. Husband goes first. She's like, "Oh, I was just kidding." And
Yeah, you
doesn't
know what?
do
I
it.
actually don't love them. So, but he's foolhardy. He's just drunk on the blood of the battlefield. That he's just, all those
very
real
own
swords.
Icarus can't believe that
Yes,
he could ever die.
He flew too close to crazy.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'll take that oath before your king, and I'll marry you, babe. Let's get out of here. Let's blow this joint. Yeah. So they get married. He takes the oath. He agrees to it, and they like live, and he becomes king.
Whoa.
Like the king dies or gets like too old to be king
He
or something.
succeeds to the throne.
And so he takes the throne. The throne is now he's the king.
Wild.
And you know what? He dropped his crown. No. So his queen, crazy,
Yes.
gets sick and dies. Of course. Like kind of untimely, it seems like. Like they're like a young power couple, king,
Oh,
queen.
yeah. Girl boss and regular
Girl
boss, I guess.
And girl boss and like rise and grind.
Yeah.
He's getting up. He's getting that daily bread. Meanwhile, she's getting her daily dose of terminal illness and
Eek.
dies, passes away, turned to dust. And he's like, well, shit. And they, like the guards, like all his kingly guards, his royal court, they're like, yeah, you said you took an oath.
Said, get in there.
You're king because you took this oath, so you gotta live up to it. So they take him into a tomb with her.
Oh God.
And it's like it gives me it was giving kind of like the end of Romeo and Juliet where she's like they're like kind of just like on like slabs in like a room.
Right. Yes.
It's kind of like that was what I'm picking up on this story. That's how the story is. Maybe old Bill Shakespeare himself lifted a little bit from this from the tale of the 3 snake leaves.
I don't know. It depends on how old the story is. Because he was writing in like the 1650s, so.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't even know when Grimm's fairy tales are from, but most of them seem to be pretty old, or at least based on pretty old stories.
I think they're 19th century, like early 19th century, maybe late 18th.
Okay, 1800s.
Yeah. Early though.
So anyway, they go in the tomb.
I might be thinking of Hans Christian Andersen. I don't know. I'll look it up while you tell me the rest of the story.
Hey, you're going to want to pay attention because this story is fantastic. Probably the best fairy tale there's ever been.
Okay, yeah, they were late 18th, early 19th.
Okay, so like 18th century. Okay, so like 1700s, 1800s.
They were born in the late 1700s.
Gotcha.
Like 1780 something.
Always got to clarify, Yeah.
Guns did exist then, so.
There were guns, so it probably was guns.
Might have been guns.
They probably were fighting like living guns.
I like living, walking, singing, dancing guns.
Like dancing, tricking guns.
Okay.
And
so they go into
the
tomb of Amontillado.
And they just straight up give him wine and bread. And it's like, and then they seal him in there with her. And so he's like, he's like rationing the bread and the wine because he's like not ready to die, but eventually he's just going to starve to death. Eventually that's what's going to happen. Like they didn't give him like a poison or anything. It's just like
crazy.
They just give him like a meal. And they're like, all right, I guess you're dead. I guess you're going to die here.
3 bottles of wine and a loaf of bread. That's good, right?
Yeah, that'll serve you right just fine until, I don't know, I guess until you die.
Catch me chugging all 3 bottles of wine trying to give myself alcohol poisoning and die.
Yeah, just pass out. So while he's in there and he's like rationing the food and he's like perpetually hungry, he's there for a couple days, I think. A snake kind of crawls out of some nook and starts like coming over to the dead body of his bride, of his queen.
Okay.
And the snake's coming over and he takes out his like knife or his sword or something, his like ceremonial whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll not let you, serpent, touch my bride. I'll not let you eat upon her flesh, beast.
I'm going to eat upon your flesh, beast.
No, he doesn't do that. You'd think he might do that. You'd think that.
You'd think.
I thought that. No, he doesn't dine upon the serpent's tastiest of morsels.
No.
Instead, he goes, wah, 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 and he cuts it 3 times. So it cuts it into 4 pieces. Chop, chop, chop.
Okay.
And just leaves it there.
Okay.
And he goes back to his bread and wine.
Okay.
Another serpent comes into the room.
Okay.
And it sees, and it goes to the dead serpent.
Okay.
It doesn't go for the wife's body, the queen's body. Then it goes and it returns. It leaves and it returns with 3 leaves in its mouth.
Okay.
And the king's like, what the hell? What the fuck is my watching?
What is happening? Surely I'm hallucinating.
That wine, they must have put something in the wine or the bread. So the serpent puts the leaves on each of the 3 cut parts of the snake.
Okay.
And then the snake is fused back together, healed. Whoa. The leaves heal the snake like tears. And the snake is back alive. And they both like, slither away back into the nook and out of the chamber, leaving the 3 leaves.
Interesting.
So the king sees the 3 leaves.
Like, wait,
and he's like, magical? Damn. He's like, these leaves just healed that snake, unless I've lost it. I know what I could do. I'll heal the love of my life. Mm-hmm. I'll do the most romantic thing in the world. I'll bring the love of my life back to life.
Perfect.
Puts the leaves one over each eye and one on her mouth. I guess that seems like got to pick 3 spots.
Yeah.
Don't know why those are the 3.
I would have chosen different.
Yeah, nipple, nipple, pussy. Seems the proper way.
You know, your answer's better.
You were saying like forehead, belly button.
Yeah, honestly, I was
one
gonna
on
do like belly, chest, and forehead. Was what
yeah,
I was thinking.
that seems like a more like holistic.
Yeah.
Instead of
But
some weird like burial
eyes
thing
and
like
mouth?
eyes and mouth. But she comes back to life.
His 3 favorite things about her.
Her lovely eyes and that.
She's hydrated.
Oh yeah. God. So she comes back to life.
Oh, good.
And he like yells for the guards. And they eventually come and like open the door and they see that they're both alive. And they're like, holy shit, what happened?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
You would believe it. Oh, yeah.
Then he winks at the camera.
You're never gonna believe this. Licking his lips. And so they go on, like, they continue with their life. He, though, in secret, he goes to one of his main guy, his like main kind of servant guy who's always there for him. And he gives him the leaves and he says, like, treasure these, like keep these like close, for we don't know. I think these may come in handy yet. And he kind of like with a wink and a nod gives them to his main boy. And says, yeah.
Crumples him up, puts him in a pocket.
Yeah, just turns him to dust.
Fucking leaves.
So they go on with their life. But as it happens, now the queen has lost love for the king, the new king. She's no longer in love with him.
Man.
They set sail. The old king, her dad is still alive, by the way. The old king is still alive. I think it's kind of like a 2-king. I don't know what's going on. They both are referred to as king.
I think at a certain...
It might just be that he is a prince still.
Maybe. I don't know.
It might be. Doesn't matter. These stories have such weird wordage.
They're co-managers.
And so at some point, the let's say prince, the
Sure.
main guy, our main dude.
Yep.
Him and his wife, they set out on a voyage across the sea.
Oh, my wife doesn't love me anymore. I'll take her on vacation.
Yeah, right.
Get some of the old spark back.
While they're on the voyage, dude, she's fucking and sucking every guy on this boat.
No.
She's just getting around. Falls in love with like the skipper or something. They plot to kill the prince.
But so you made the oath, queen.
They wait until he falls asleep. And then they grab him and throw him overboard. And he drowns.
What?
Yeah. Our main dude's dead. And the wife and her new little skipper lover, they decide they're going to tell a tale to her father that like he got sick and they had or something. They come up with a lie.
Yeah.
About what happened. Or like he's been captured at the destination, or like pirates took him or something. And they part of the lie is that the skipper fought to save her life so that he'll be rewarded by being allowed to marry her. Well,
because as we all know, women are a commodity.
Yes, meant to be owned, controlled,
traded, sold.
Yeah, and they're also
given as gifts, rewards.
They're also tricky and not to be trusted, apparently.
Yes, that is true.
So, lo and behold, though, our prince, our main guy, his number one dude saw the whole thing.
Oh.
Sneaks away in a rowboat, fetches his body out of the cold, icy depths.
Dang.
Throws those leaves, eye, mouth, brings him back to life.
Damn.
Tells him what happened, because he doesn't know exactly what happened, but this little servant guy has been like, he was like, he heard the whole plan, right?
He's bestie.
Like, yeah. So he says, I got you. I brought you back to life. Let's go. So they get back to the kingdom first before the queen.
Oh, shit.
and they go to the king, the dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where they were going. The ship was going to see the guy's original dad, his poor dad.
Oh, aw.
That's where they were traveling to go. So, which is a nice little bit of the story.
Yeah.
They get back to the king first, tell him what's happened, and he says, interesting. Okay, why don't you hide behind this, like, door or curtain?
Yeah. Your pick.
Yeah, whichever.
Whichever one
hide
you
behind.
like.
Maybe you can hide behind this big chest. What do you want to jump out of? We got a couple options here. I don't really do much. Some of these chests
This is like
are
the most exciting thing to happen to me in a long time.
Some of these chests have like they're alive and they talk to me sometimes. Like there's a big bean over there and a big like living coal. That was another. There was another one that was a living bean and a living coal and a living straw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have to do 2 episodes on this? Because this is insane.
No. We're almost to the end. Anyway, yeah, it's like we're basically at the end. So they hide, and then the queen and her skipper lover come in and try to tell their lie.
Right.
Right?
And the king's like, sure, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I believe you. Funny, interesting. Look what happens when I pull this lever. Ka-chink! And then like, the wall rotates around, and there he is.
The prince is just like
the prince and his little friend
back to back with their arms crossed.
They're like, huh. And so she falls to her knees, begging for forgiveness.
Uh-huh, I'm sure.
And you know what? Pops ain't having it.
Good.
He
Good
takes
dad.
he takes his bitch daughter. And this devious skipper, this pirate,
Yeah.
puts them on a boat filled with holes
Oh.
and sends them out into the ocean, and they sink and drown.
This
That's the end.
story.
That's the three snake leaves. That's it.
This story is just the pettiness, the drama. This is like a
it's got it all.
Bravo show.
Yeah, doesn't it rule?
That
Such a good fairy tale.
is so good.
Yeah. I only read it because the name was cool. 3 snake leaves? Yeah, okay.
I'm so glad you read it. I was like avoiding fairy tales that I didn't know.
I was going straight.
That's
I was
not
going
my
straight
point.
for him.
Yeah. I'm glad you did.
I figured the bean, the coal, and the straw one is quick if you want to hear it.
Yeah, I do. I really do. All my crap is dumb. The evil stepmother from Snow White has to wear red hot shoes and dance until she dies. That's the fucked up thing from Snow White.
That's to wear red hot chili pepper shoes and dance to red hot chili peppers
at their wedding.
grooves.
The prince makes her put on iron hot shoes and dance until she dies, and that's the story.
That's crazy. And that's Snow White.
And that's Snow White. Okay, let's hear your
and she had sex with all the dwarves.
Coal and straw.
Lady is has coal she's lighting straw to make a fire, which she stokes with coal to heat up a pot of beans.
Sure. Yeah, I'm following.
As she grabs she grabs the straw to light it, one piece of straw falls on the ground. Okay. As she grabs the coal to put it under the fire, one piece of coal or she goes to light the coal or whatever, piece of coal falls on the ground. As she's going to put the beans in the stew pot, one bean falls and hits the floor.
God.
So she's cooking up these beans, and then meanwhile, the bean, the straw, and the coal are all down there on the ground. They're like, "Wow, how'd you make it out of there?" And they tell like how each of them like slipped away as she was doing whatever she was doing, and like, I can't believe I'm being like the bean says something like, I could have been like I was moments away from being boiled with my comrades.
Jesus Christ.
And the coal's like, I was moments away from being burnt to a crisp with all of my brothers and sisters. And the straw's like, my entire family is in an inferno now to boil the beans. They're like, we got to get out of here. So they scram, run away out of the house because they have like arms and legs. They run away.
You would notice that as a human. You're like, gonna make a nice pot of. Oh my God!
What the hell?
They're all like,
they're screaming and like begging for
Just
forgiveness,
writhing.
justice, and mercy. No, this story is so stupid.
Good.
They're traveling now, and they decide like, oh, well, luck has favored us. We should just travel together. We should become
And
like a merry band of.
The beginning of a D&D campaign.
Yeah. Well, they don't do too well.
Oh,
They get to a river
okay.
or a little stream because they're small.
Mm-hmm.
They get to a little stream and like they can't cross it. And the straw's like, "Oh, easy. I can just lay myself down, make a bridge, and then you two can climb across me."
Okay.
And they're like, "Okay, great." So the coal goes first, but when the coal gets halfway across the straw making the bridge, the coal sees the running water below and gets scared because the water will kill the coal. Gets scared,
Sure.
lingers too long, burns straw in half.
The coal's still on fire?
The coal is still hot, apparently, yeah. You
Okay.
don't know this until this point in the story.
Okay.
This was never addressed until this moment. When
What
you're
a
like,
twist.
I had the same thought. I was like, what the fuck? The coal was hot the whole time?
The bean's just been slowly cooking, walking next to the coal.
Yeah, just turning into a little roast bean. So coal has now burnt straw to death in half. Straw is dead. Straw and coal both fall in the water. Coal dies.
Okay.
Coal probably sinks. Straw washes away. The
With a
bean
broken
starts
back.
The bean starts laughing.
What?
And he laughs so hard that he bursts and dies.
What the fuck?
And then
What?
some like weird guy comes along.
What? It's
Yeah.
Okay.
This weird guy, some like fucking absolute psycho, comes along, sees the burst bean,
What?
stitches them back together,
What the fuck?
and he comes back to life. And that's why beans have like a little black seam.
Oh my.
That's the thread, the black thread that was used by this creep to sew up the bean. And that's the end of the story.
I have so many questions.
That's it.
Why would the guy...
Yeah, I don't know.
Does the guy know that beans are sentient?
Yeah. That he knows that this will work.
And also,
Why did the bean laugh?
why did the bean laugh? Is that bean the father of all other beans? Because that's why beans have a seam. Presumably,
point. Were these the last beans?
He's from don't.
His progeny is all other beans.
Yeah, he's the atom from which all beans come.
The Adam bean.
The primordial
Yeah.
bean.
Hey, I want to feast my eyes on the primordial bean. Yeah, that one was weird. I like it though because it's short and just out of this world insane.
Insane. Do you think that guy knows that coal and straw are also sentient?
You have to assume.
Or maybe he just knows about beans. And like if he saw the coal and the straw like walking along, he'd be like, what is going
Wait,
on?
all of you?
Wait, I know about beans, but
Each of you?
this is too much.
I know about beans. I had my suspicion of corn.
Jury's still out on corn.
Corn
But,
might be sentient. Beans
I've got
for
an
sure.
eye on it.
Peas? I doubt it.
Definitely not. Peas,
What are
no.
they doing? They're in those pods? No.
Peanuts, now, that's an interesting
That's a
philosophical
bean.
question.
It's a bean.
Legume. It's not a bean.
Wait, no, yeah, legumes are beans.
But I think it's a square rectangle situation.
I disagree.
You can't just disagree.
I disagree with that. I think legumes are beans.
Beans are legumes,
Yes, all beans are legumes. That's what I'm saying.
but not all legumes are beans. Square rectangle, bitch.
Damn it.
Gotcha.
Crap.
Well-
Yeah. So I hope you learned a lesson or two. Because the queen didn't.
No.
The Bean didn't.
Stepsisters did not.
Stepsisters didn't. Cole and Straw are dead.
Yeah, Cole and Straw didn't live long enough to learn anything.
I think the Rapunzel hunk learned a lesson.
Yeah, maybe don't go climbing into towers on hair.
Yeah, especially ones full of witches.
Yeah,
I don't think Cinderella learned any lessons.
No, Cinderella was the good guy. She didn't need to learn a lesson.
Well, yeah, okay, that's kind of my point. Kind of a boring
The protagonist.
story.
We root for her.
All right, well. No character development. There's no no lessons learned. There's no
my media
trials.
literacy is garbage. I'm just like protagonist, Cinderella,
protagonist,
good guy,
good. Tony Soprano, good guy, protagonist. Didn't need to learn lessons.
Walter
He's the
White,
good guy.
Protagonist, good guy.
Sure.
I root for him. I wish I could be like him.
Yeah, I wish I was that smart.
Yeah.
Clever.
He's so smart.
Ruthless. Wish I could pull off that cool hat.
Ugh, yeah. Nobody can.
I don't think he does, really.
Not really.
No.
No.
That's not a good hat.
It's no. Yeah. Good app. Good record. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, this is
This is the end.